Essentially, what you are calling your life is just a certain amount of time and energy. As you sit here watching this video, time is rolling away from us. The past is done. Can you bring it back? No, you can't.
Quantum Souls.
Hello everyone, Mike Arend here, founder of Infinite Success Academy, author of the trilogy You're the One, and I thank you for tuning in to another episode of Quantum Souls. I'm going to be a little frank with you today and just come out and ask you, what do you want out of life? Take a look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what do you want? Did you say fame and fortune, a steady job, or a wife and kids? Or did you just shrug your shoulders and say, I don't know? And there's nothing wrong with I don't know. When I grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, all we were told was to get educated, get a job, find a spouse, buy a home, have kids, drive a nice car, and everything will be all right. For some of you, that dream is still alive because it's still being preached today. However, I'm here to tell you that actually, no matter where you are in your life, most of us don't really know what we want. Everyone just keeps fooling themselves at every step in their lives. You really need to understand this. Essentially, what you are calling your life is just a certain amount of time and energy. As you sit here watching this video, time is rolling away from us. The past is done. Can you bring it back? No, you can't. Yes, but you say, yesterday wasn't a good day. I just want a do-over. Sorry, that's impossible. The sun comes up and another day starts. Is it just time that's ticking away? No, it's not just the clock ticking away. It's your life, isn't it? If you live to be 80 years old, you will have lived approximately 40,000 weeks, 28,000 days, or 672,000 hours since your birth. I'm 63 years old, and if I live to be 80, I have 884 weeks, 6,188 days, and only 148,512 hours left. Every hour is now very precious to me, and you can do your own math on this. Now, I plan to live well beyond 80, but none of us truly know when our time is up. If you watch this video as an entirety, which I heartily recommend, you will be approximately 30 minutes closer to your grave. It doesn't matter how young you are, it's time you can never get back, right? So, it's a certain amount of time that nobody can manage because it keeps moving forward at the same pace for everyone. Whether you do something or you do nothing, whether you're asleep or awake, whether you're happy or unhappy, whatever the hell is happening in your life, it just keeps mercilessly rolling along. However, there is something you can control, and that is your energy. We are all blessed with the energy of the universe. Why? Because that's where we came from. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. Science and religion are rapidly closing the gaps on this, and they're starting to agree on many of those points. And if you are constantly thinking negative thoughts, watching negative news, or hanging around negative people, 24 hours will feel like 1,000 years. But when you have a day that everything just goes well, 24 hours goes poof, just like that, right? So time can be a very relative experience. If you are predominantly joyful and live 100 years, it feels like just a few moments, and it's gone. Truly, only miserable people will live a long life. Because if you're miserable, you'll always feel like life is too long, and you'll want to cut it short. But if you live with joy in your heart, before you know it, your life is over. Did time speed up for you or slow down for another? No, it didn't. It kept the same pace all along. So, since we clearly cannot manage time, there is one thing we can manage, and that is our energies. Our life energy is not limitless, but we can enhance it. If we function with an energy of joy, compassion, empathy, and love, what used to take you 10 years, you can do in 1. This means that if you managed your energy and live 100 joyous years, you did the work of someone that lived 1,000 years. All the life goals you are setting for yourself are fundamentally time-based. But you could achieve so much more if it were energy-based. Some of you miserable folks turn to drugs and alcohol. And I'm not judging here, I've been there myself. We do it to numb the pain of failure, the pain of success, the pain of relationships, and on and on. And I know you're thinking a few drinks or smoking a joint here and there won't make a difference. However, if you boarded a plane en route to a beautiful vacation and you found out the pilot had been drinking and smoking, would you want him to fly that plane? In life, you are the pilot of your plane. And that's all I will say about that topic for now.
Hi, it's just Mike, and we interrupt this regular scheduled programming to bring you a message from our sponsor, Little Old Me. Yes, that's right, I'm the sponsor today, and I want to show you my book. It is 2 books in 1. It is part of a trilogy, and the title is You're the One. The first book is Book 1, An Adventure into Truth, and Book 2 is Souled Out, S-O-U-L-E-D. And yes, it is an action-adventure series with a cast of characters that you'll have to read to find out. And there are spiritual messages hidden within the book that they have to discover. Now, it's the same cast of characters in each story, including the 3rd book of the trilogy, which is about to launch very soon. But they have to find each other again in a different dimension. And of course, they have different names and they have different vocations. And all of that put together to the mystery of solving the mystery of humankind. And You're the One. It's been titled that because you are the one, and I am the one, and we all are the one. So it's an adventure story for you to discover how powerful you can be and who you really are. So get it on Amazon right now, and they've done us a really good one, and we're putting it down to a very low price of $3.99 for the Kindle version on Amazon.com. Of course, you can get it in paperback and hardcover too, but the Kindle version is down to $3.99 on Amazon.com, and I believe it's $5.99 on Amazon.ca. The link is down below in the show notes if you'd like to gift it to yourself or perhaps gift it to a loved one, because who doesn't love a gift of transformation? So the link is down below. Check it out. Check it out on Amazon. And now back to our regular scheduled programming.
However, clearly understand these things lower your faculties. Do you really think that you can increase your life by lowering your faculties? If you want to enhance your energies and therefore your life, you must super enhance your faculties. That's the only way you can become who you truly want to be. You cannot continue to lower your faculties and believe that you will enhance your life. That's just plain stupidity. Now, I want you to understand something. The greatest chemical factory ever conceived is here. It's you. So, how are you managing your factory? Are you eating good foods? Are you getting enough sleep? Do you set aside some time for mindfulness and spiritual growth? If you are, then you are a good manager, and you can create any experience you want from within, and also heighten your faculties. You possess the most advanced chemical factory on the planet. We have a complicated system of electrochemicals that makes up our bodies. I'm sure chemical engineers would agree with me. Now here's what the chemical engineer would say. So, how are you managing your system? We gave you the most sophisticated machine in the universe. I hope you've at least read the User's Manual. And you answer, what manual? The one with food, rest, sleep, and spiritual growth in it. No, I haven't got time for that stuff. Well, believe me when I say that the only way to enhance your life is to increase your physical and mental faculties. So, what's the end game here? Well, if you could have anything, what would you want? If you could have everything you ever wanted, what would it be? If you don't have the answers to these questions, then you have not invested much thought into your life, which means you're being very short-sighted. The fact is that we are all mortal, and mortal means that at some point we will cease to exist in this world. Most younger people believe other people die. They falsely believe that they are invincible. I went through this stage as well. I threw caution into the wind, did stupid stunts to make my friends laugh, abused my body because death was not for me. It was for others. Intellectually, I knew it, but I still thought I would live forever. Now, as mortals, we have a limited amount of time and energy. If you were always conscious of this, how would you organize your time and energy? You decide. After all, you have free will. If you think you're a superhuman being and only other people will die, all the best to you, and good luck. Death will come whether you like it or not. Volunteer in a hospice, and you'll see plenty of it. Unfortunately, today, over 80% of people, when their last moment comes, are bewildered. A look of bewilderment comes over them because all their lives they just lived their thoughts and emotions. They never actually lived a life. Now, this is important, and you must understand there's a psychological reality in your mind, and there's an existential reality, which is life. Most people are mistaking their psychological reality to be existential, that is to say, relating to their existence. For many, their thought and emotion has become more significant than the cosmos. What you think, the nonsense that you think and feel, has become more important than the universe. The way you think is the way you feel, and the way you feel is the way you act. This means you are creating from a mortal experience, and you feel more significant than the creating powers of the universe, which, to remind you, is from whence you came. Now, this means you are doomed to a life of suffering, or in other words, being miserable, as we mentioned earlier. Now, this means your life will feel like such a long time, and many, unfortunately, will want to cut it short. However, there is hope, and there is still time. You have the power to change the way you think, feel, and act. Start thinking thoughts of joy, compassion, empathy, and love. Stop competing and start creating. You came from this universe, and as such, you are the most amazing creating machine in the cosmos. Thoughts become things. So start thinking new thoughts that will bring you a new life, a life of joy and happiness. Do not let ignorance raise its ugly head and cause you to remain in suffering and misery. I'll end by letting you know that the greatest evil right now on this planet is not evil itself, but ignorance. Thank you for allowing me to spend time with you today. I love you all. Take care, and bye for now. Hello everybody, just me again. If you want to find out who you really are, just look up here. And if you want to find out how to create success in your life and business, look right up here. Take care. Bye for now.